A Jesus coin Christmas. Let's talk about
It's
it.
beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
This is the Hey Ed YouTube
Go.
channel, and I am your host, moderator, and all-around nice guy, Edward Anderson. I'm not a financial advisor, so do not construe anything that I mention in any of my videos as financial advice. Always do your own research before doing anything with your money. And further disclosure, I am a pretty enthusiastic holder of Jesus coin. And if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button and the like button. It helps the algorithm quite a bit. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about the status of Jesus coin right now going into Christmas and the prospects that it has as I see it. Okay, so whether you are already a holder of Jesus coin or you are considering taking a position in Jesus coin, I do encourage you to watch this video all the way through. And it might even behoove you to watch my previous videos on Jesus coin. To do that, just go over to my YouTube channel. After you hit the subscribe button, you'll see the playlist button. And by the way, see, I do lots of videos on all sorts of interesting things. So you might want to, take a look at all of my videos. But if you want to watch my other Jesus Coin videos, click the playlist button and then click on my Jesus Coin playlist. Jesus Coin. The hard part is, and you'll see all of my Jesus Coin videos. Now, these are in reverse order, right? So if you want to watch them chronologically, scroll down and start watching from the bottom. But in each one of these videos, I do cover a different aspect of Jesus coin, so whatever. All right, so let's start by taking a look at where Jesus coin is right now. Now, this price might be different by the time you watch this video. I don't know. We'll see how fast I can get this video out. But let's take a look. So as of this recording, Jesus coin is trading at 6.029. And right now, we're looking at the one-day chart. But let's look at 7 days. Okay. Now, you can see that about 7 days ago, it put in that high, and then it's since been selling off. But look at this long, well, it's not quite a channel. Well, look at the sideways move. And I'm going to elaborate on this in a second, so bear with me. But let's take a quick look at the 1 month chart. Okay, this is the 1 month chart. Okay, now this is important. See this dramatic move up here, and then it peaked there, and this is what it's been doing now for this past month. It's been going sideways. You see, it's got that nice little support level right down here at around the 26.5, 27, we'll call it 27 level. Let's take a look at a different chart. Let's go over to the deck screener page. All right. Now, again, so this is a deck screener. And again, you can see now this is over the past like day and a half, right? After that little sell off there, it's been going straight sideways. And look how tight it is. It has not been volatile. And if you go back more, okay, it put in this high up here, okay, and then it's pretty much been going sideways. Okay, so I feel very confident in predicting that this is not going to last. This coin is not going to go sideways for too much longer. It is going to resolve itself. But there are two things I want to point out to you about what's going on right now. Now, when coins like this have a big run up and then they sell off and then they go sideways, that's a good thing. You want that to happen. You don't want these coins or anything that you're in to keep going up and up and up, because those kind of moves are not sustainable. But when you have a coin or a stock or whatever you're in, make a dramatic move up and then go sideways for a while, that's a good thing. Remember, these things are like sprinters. They can run a certain distance pretty fast, but at some point they have to rest. They cannot keep up that pace forever. They have to rest. So ironically, you want this coin to do as very little, if anything, for as long as possible, because the longer that it rests, the bigger the move and the more sustainable the move will be when it does finally start its next pump. So this is part of the irony that you have to live with, right? You don't want this coin to move up dramatically right away after a big move. You want them to rest, and the longer the better, because that will act as a springboard, as a launching pad for the next big pump. Now, you always judge the health of a move of a crypto or a stock or anything that you're in by the quality of their pullbacks, okay? Now, the fact that this coin just had a dramatic pump up, a couple of weeks ago, and then it since has pulled back not that much. Yes, I'm percentage-wise down about 30% from that high, but really in relationship to its bigger move, it's not that big of a pullback. So I am very impressed with the fact that it's holding up here. And another thing I want to point out to you is the volume on this coin. The volume has actually been very high on this coin, but don't be fooled. A lot of it, most of it actually, is not organic buying and selling. There's some games going on with this coin, I promise you. I can't prove it, but I know it is. And here's one example. So here's a trade that went off earlier today. Okay, someone bought this coin for 19,500 and then sold it right away. Now I'm not particularly impressed because that gentleman, and it is the same guy. That gentleman made like $50. Okay, so he put $20,000 at risk to make $50. All right, so not real impressive. But that's just a little isolated example. That kind of thing has been going on an awful lot. So now whether that's a bot or whether it's a small handful of guys who are scalping this coin, it's hard. There's no way of knowing, for sure. But there are some games being played right now by active traders. Now, of course, that's going to affect the charts. That's what you got to factor that in. So a lot of the things you were seeing in the charts, in the price action of this coin right now, is not real organic stuff. It's not people who actually believe in this coin or don't believe it. These are traders looking for fast money. Now, I do know that the vast majority of the people who own this coin are people who are not looking to trade it. These are people who have a long-term view on this coin. So those coins are pretty locked up, more or less, right? But one way you want to look at this scalping that's going on is that it's kind of a vote of confidence. It's kind of pretty flattering because in order to do that kind of trading, the coin needs to be liquid. It needs liquidity. So the fact that they have comfort enough to trade this coin in and out shows that they believe this coin has some staying power. It has some actual legitimacy that is worthy of that kind of activity. So go ahead and let them play their game. Let them do. I mean, look, they're not doing anything illegal. They can't do it. And so just because you might believe in the mission of the coin, when you're in the markets, you're going to have all sorts of people involved. That's just the way of the world. And the more successful this coin becomes, the more of that kind of thing you're going to see. That's just learn to live with it. That's the way it's going to be. And again, I think the way you can kind of look at this kind of phenomenon going on is this coin is maturing. It's kind of coming into its own rights. It's sowing its oats. Okay, it's becoming a big boy. Now, in my opinion, this coin has a lot further to go. Right now, the market cap on this coin is still, at the moment, is less than 50 million. Now, if you look at coins like Pepe coin and Dogecoin, where Dogecoin is what, $12 billion right now? Now, I'm not saying it's going to get to $12 billion, but why couldn't it? A meme coin on Jesus versus a meme coin on a dog. I mean, you tell me which is more credible, on that metric. Now, of course, this is still a meme coin. As much as you might like, the philosophy behind the coin and the project itself, it is still in that category of meme coin. So you want to treat it properly, okay? You don't put your rent money into this. You should only put money into this that you can afford to lose. However, like I've been telling people in my WhatsApp group, listen, you can only lose 100%, right? You can only lose 100% of your money. Meanwhile, on the upside, this coin has the potential of changing your life. It could alter the course of your life. Now, let me talk about that for a second. So for those of you who are veterans of the channel, a lot of this stuff is going to be familiar to you. But again, it's worth emphasizing, I think. If you're going to be taking the risk of getting into a coin like Jesus coin, if you're looking for 1 or 2 or 3x, frankly, it's a pretty stupid move. If that's all you really want, go buy Bitcoin, okay? You'll get your 1 or 2 or 3x with much less risk. If you're going to be in something like Jesus coin, you should be looking for the life-changing amount of return. Now, the price you are going to pay for doing that is you're going to live through dramatic pullbacks along the way. If you think this coin can get you 100x or 1,000x, you better resolve yourself right now to being patient, to letting it do what it's going to do. And for those of you who are thinking you're going to jump in and out and in and out and out and increase your returns, okay, listen, I wish you all the luck in the world. I hope it works for you. Most people are not disciplined enough to do that, and it ends up being a nightmare to do it. So I would not encourage you to do that, but you have to decide what makes sense to you. So come up with a plan. But again, if you think this coin has a shot of growing 100x from here, then my friendly advice, not financial advice, just friend to friend here, okay? You should just let it do what it's going to do. Just own it, hodl it, and don't watch it that closely. If you watch this coin really closely on its march up to 100x, you're going to drive yourself nuts. Just check on it once in a while, okay? Subscribe to my channel. If anything really dramatic happens, there's a good chance I'll do a video on it. Now, I am going for the really big monster move. I want to get 3 zeros. I want this coin to burn at least 3 zeros. I got 1 0 already under my belt. So I need personally another 2 zeros for my personal plan. But I'm doing it responsibly. I've already de-risked. I've already gotten my original money out. So now it's all house money, right? So, but I know that in order to get that really monster move, I've got to give this guy some breathing room. I got to give it a chance to do it. If it takes a year to get there, if it takes 5 years to get there, keep things in perspective. One of my pet peeves is I get people all the time, telling me, I want to make a lot of money. I want to do it really, really fast. And I don't want to take any risk. Hey, I'm sorry. The world just doesn't work that way, right? So again, come up with a plan. Be willing to be patient. Look, 1 year is really not that long. A year goes by pretty darn quickly. Now, I'm not saying there's anything magical about a year, okay? This thing might be up, 10x, by the end of the month, as far as I know. I just want to put things in perspective for you, okay? Give this coin a chance. If you're going to be in it, give it a chance. But let me emphasize this point right now that's going on with this coin. Let's go back to the chart. Okay, see this sideways move that we have been in now for about 2 days? This is unheard of for a meme coin, especially a meme coin that's coming off of a very big move. And if you scroll back a little bit further, since it put in the high, so if we go back a week, I know this looks really big and dramatic, but really percentage-wise, and when you consider where this coin has come from, is not really that dramatic of a move. Now, there are patterns in here, but don't get too caught up in the minutia of the patterns, okay? But one of the, oh, look, as we're talking, it's starting to pop here. Okay, this thing might have had a run by the time I even get a chance to post this. But this is not going to last. So the way you want to think of these long, tight, channels or sideways moves, these nice tight consolidations, you want to think of them as kind of a tight coiled spring, all right? And the tighter that you wind it, the more energy there is, so that when it does finally break, it can move much more dramatically and be much more sustainable than otherwise. You don't want this to break right away. You want it to take its time, because the more that it goes sideways and the longer it goes sideways, the more explosive the move will be when it does finally break. And one final thing, let's talk about this vaulted Christmas burn that is coming up here in a couple of weeks. Now, the holders of this coin have been waiting for this one singular event ever since this coin was launched back April. And so what's happening here is on Christmas Day, they're doing an 80% burn on the existing coins. Now, some people are going to tell you that there's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the event phenomenon where it'll sell off on the news. And other people are going to say, no, it's going to scream higher because of the burn itself, because there are so many fewer coins available. Listen, what's the end of that? Who knows? But again, if you try to be too clever and if you think that you know more than the street does, that's probably a losing game. Again, I would, if you're going to do this coin, I would say, take your position now and just let it do what it's going to do. Because when FOMO kicks in, you don't want to have to end up chasing this coin. Again, you should only use risk capital if you get into this coin at all. But like the saying goes, right? Yeah, you got to be in it to win it. And, you can only lose 100%. The most you can lose is 100% of your money. Meanwhile, the upside is what? 10x, 100x, 1000x. All right. So, you have to decide what makes sense to you. But I would discourage you as a friend to friend is on its march up to whatever your target is, whatever your goal is. If you want 100x, if that's your objective, I'd encourage you not to do too much jumping in and out, because look, 100x. I mean, come on, they just go for the 100x. You don't have to, because odds are, the more clever you try to be, the more damage you're going to end up doing. Who knows? Whatever. I'll let you decide, how you want to handle that. So in a couple of weeks, Jesus Coin is having its very first Christmas. By the way, if you do get into this coin here and it does pull back, personally, don't worry about it. My opinion, keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on the bigger picture. This is a volatile coin. The games are going to be played. The thing is going to bounce around, and try not to get caught up in the games going on, with people, playing games with the coin. Just, keep your eye on what your objectives are and what your plan is. Come up with your plan, right? And if you don't have your 10x or your 100x, by Christmas, relax. Chillax, as they say, right? Find a way to distract yourself. Read a book. Go to work and try to keep your mind off it. Let it do what it's going to do. Now, in case you don't see me between now and Christmas, let me take this opportunity to say Merry Christmas, everyone. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Ed Anderson, live from Minnesota. Merry Christmas. Signing out.
Copy that.